When 2nd Suffolk District State Rep Eugene O'Flaherty accepted a top legal position with Boston Marty Walsh, a special election was held earlier this year in March, to determine who would eventually fill his shoes later on in this fall's election. There is a primary, and Dan Ryan, a lifelong Charlestown resident and community activist who also spent a decade, many of you know, as an aide to Congressman Mike Capuano, won the election over second-place finisher Roy Avellaneda, who is a lifelong Chelsea resident who has served as city council president and has worked as legislative aide to former state senator Jared Barrios. Now, on September 9th, the primary, they square off, again in an election in a district that is split between Charlestown and parts of Chelsea, which are two very different communities. We now welcome both State Rep Dan Ryan, the incumbent, and Roy Avellaneda, the challenger, to Urban Update. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for accepting and to being here, both of you at the same time. I know the viewers appreciate it. I'm going to start very quickly. I'll give the incumbent the first shot. What makes you still the best candidate? You've been in this position only a couple months, so a lot of folks still don't know what you're really all about in terms of candidacy. What makes you the best candidate for this?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity to address the voters on television. And well, as you said, I've been doing the job now for 4 months. But prior to that, the reason I ran back in March was, like you said, I spent 10 years working in Mike Capuano's district office. I also spent 4 years working for him in Washington, D.C. It's a great experience. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. But this really gave me an opportunity to get back to my roots, professional roots, and that was working at the Boys and Girls Club in the community center in Boston and Charlestown. Because this district is a lot smaller than the area I covered for the congressman, I'm able to do a lot more hands-on, where the rubber meets the road type of constituent issues, and really get out there, you know, on the street corners every day in a concise little area, as opposed to working for the congressman. I was the liaison to 3 cities and 2 Boston neighborhoods.
Very good. Roy, why run and what makes you the best candidate?
Well, my experience more than anything else, I served as a city councilor in Chelsea for over 10 years. Also was a small business owner in Chelsea, a real estate practice that actually broke all outside of the scope of the community. I worked for Senator Jared Barrios, as you had mentioned, but also the last 5 years as the legislative liaison for DOT and a project manager. So I have a unique set of skills that I've developed over the last 15 years plus, not just being an elected official, but also more than that, being and having still been a community advocate. So I think that I will make a difference. Okay,
I'm going to stay with you and then come back to you, Danny, with this question. What are the hot button issues that you believe specifically affect the constituents of this very diverse district, specifically?
Specifically, well, again, it's the two, as you mentioned earlier at the beginning, they're 2 diverse communities, and each one has its own set of issues. I think for Chelsea, it's the economic issues that we spoke about, or rather Charlie Baker spoke about. We're having some gentrification going on. The housing issue is really pushing, affecting Chelsea. We're seeing all these new developments and a push for higher rents in our community, forcing our longtime residents in Chelsea out. And in Charlestown, I think more than anything else, the hot button issue in Charlestown is the casino issue, first and foremost.
Okay, how do you see it, Danny?
Yeah, I mean, the casino seems to be the first thing on people's minds. That really takes kind of the air out of all the other arguments, because it's going to affect both communities drastically. And regardless of where it goes, these 2 proposed sites are only 5 miles apart. But other than that, the issues that people are concerned about around the casino, yeah, there's crime and everything else, but it's mostly traffic and development. And whether the casinos come to this region or not, those are going to be issues that both of these neighborhoods need to tackle. Rutherford Avenue needs to be fixed, regardless if there's a casino or not. I've been working on that, you know, for the last 10 years. That whole confluence of 1A, Route 1, and Route 99, people act as if they're 100 miles apart. When the Tobin Bridge gets closed down to paint, it affects the other 2 roads drastically. We need to concentrate on the overdevelopment in those areas, regardless if there's a casino or not.
All right, good. Now, I'm going to stick now with you. You're very well known in Charlestown. We've established that, and people know, I know. Well, Roy, people know you in Chelsea. You are a lifelong Chelsea resident, your political career. What message, and I'm going to give one of you this opportunity, do you want to give the folks in the other side of the district that don't know you as well? That you, how can you assure them that you'll be able, in your case, to properly represent Chelsea and in yours, Charlestown? So I'll let you go first, Danny.
Yeah,
Look right into
the camera. You got it. All right. I've been in Chelsea, feels like almost every day since the election began in January, more since I got sworn in. I try to get over there as much as I can. My slogan was that my passion for community work doesn't stop at the Tobin Bridge. As I said earlier, I now have a much smaller area to concentrate on. I have a long history in Chelsea. I worked at the Boys and Girls Club in Charlestown when the Chelsea Club was being built. Those kids used to come over to the Charlestown Club, use our gymnasium, our swimming pool, working for the congressman. I have a history of the issues. Again, it's 10,000 feet in the air. We deliver money for roads and bridges that then get spent by the community 10 years later. So I have a long history there. Now I'm able to nurture those relationships. I'm over there, as much as I can. And there's a lot going on in Chelsea, so there's a lot of reasons to be there. And I think people see me and they tend to warm up to me, and I just got to convince them I'm the right guy to continue working for them.
Very good. Roy, how about you? What is your message to, more specifically, Charlestown? Because Chelsea's your backyard.
Right. Well, again, having been reelected several times as city councilor, obviously I did something right. I have experience in dealing with community issues, advocating for them, and knowing how to use the levers of government to make sure that the services are provided and projects are done in the State House. So I say to the Charlestown residents, having that experience and having that private sector experience also allows me to have a unique set of skills that will allow me to come to your community and be the strong advocate that I've shown on record in the city of Chelsea. So that's why I think I would do a great job.
Gentlemen, we don't have much time, but what would you say is your biggest difference with respect to Roy? What sets you apart from Roy as a candidate?
Well, now I'm the incumbent, which means I now have a voting record. These issues that we want to talk about, I have voted on these issues. I voted the way I said I would vote while I campaigned. And I campaigned day and night. I've been working. I haven't taken a day off since January 6th, and that's how I approach politics, and I will continue to work that hard.
How about you, Roy? What makes you different than Danny?
Well, we have a very diverse community, and I think that my ethnicity allows me to be able to go into a community that is as diverse as mine and understand the differences that in a certain set of problems that come with it, and that's why I would be the best advocate for that whole community.
Very good. All right, gentlemen, good luck. September 9th, right?
Yes.
I got it. That's the primary. Okay. Thank you both for coming on. I think the viewers got a lot out of this. All right. When we return, our good friend UMass Boston celebrates 50 years as a university founded. Well, you know what? We're going to tell you how it was founded with my good friend Keith Motley, the Chancellor. Coming right up, right on Urban Update.